In March 2020, Uganda, through the Uganda National Bureau of Standards, suspended the importation of used footwear and textiles as a precautionary measure to fight the spread of COVID-19. Early this year, the economy was fully reopened, getting all the sectors to fully operate. We now do take a look at how the second-hand clothes business has progressed.
A protracted fight against the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic, Uganda in March 2020 stopped the importation of used second-hand clothes and footwear. Amon Mwesigwa, who deals in importation of second-hand clothes, takes us through the stand of the business before the lockdown vis-a-vis now.
We used to perform well, but with the issues of corona, it happened that it affected many things, and it didn't that were not directly in line with business per se, but as we moved along, they ended up also affecting the business. Take an example. Before corona, we had shipment of these goods that come from overseas. We used to pay for each container around between $2,800 to $3,300 as shipment costs. But currently, that one has raised to close to between $9,000 to $10,000, depending on where the goods are coming from. Now, that one has had a big impact on the cost of the goods.
Amon says the industry is struggling with taxes, which gets down to the buyers and affects the business.
Lockdown, if I'm not mistaken, I think URA had increased taxes, and immediately when we came back from the lockdown, we were again served with another notice where tax was increased to around between 91 and 93 million there for a 28-ton container. Yes, now this one has affected our business so much because whereas we were trying to get used to the increase that had been brought about by increase in shipment costs, now the increase in taxes meant that we had to again increase the prices of the goods. And yet, the environment we are working in, everyone having just come from lockdown, customers are not willing to add a single coin.
With a number of challenges in the industry, Amon says there are challenges in the industry where government can come in and support them by ring-fencing.
Challenges are maybe not in the government's control, like the issue of shipping companies, but other challenges, I think the government can play a big role. Yes, take an example. I've just talked of ring-fencing the businesses that can be done by the locals. Take an example, if we didn't have the Chinese who come and pump so much into the economy, maybe this business would be able to support people, would be having so much in terms of business, and maybe our business would be better. The taxes have been increasing almost on an annual basis. Sometimes you don't even see what much the taxes are doing. So when you compare what our colleagues pay who are doing the same business in other countries, some countries pay around $5,000 in terms of tax for a container. Here we pay around close to $25,000 for each container as tax. So I tend to think the government has increased the tax too much. So I have a feeling if they reduce the tax to make it reasonable, then we'll be able to thrive in the business.
He further says that the removal of street vendors has greatly affected their business, where he calls upon government to revise the idea by zoning the streets where vendors can sell from.
Government came in under KCCA, they came and removed the Batembei from the street vendors from the streets, but they didn't give them a specific place to operate from. So that one has actually affected our business greatly of recent, because the way this business would work is that someone would buy a bear, open it from a window, sell what would be like first class of it, then the residue would be picked by the Watembei, who would again sell, and the other person for him to come to complete the chain. So now, because those hawkers have been removed from the streets and not put anywhere, the people who would buy the berries, you find someone can sell a berry for 2 to 3, 4 days. So if the government could zone the city so that we know that maybe uptown there are no vendors, but downtown we should be able to have vendors, because what sense does it make to have a clean city